This is Rif Yomi, Daf Daled Amid Aleph in the pages of Rif, which is going on Daf Ches in the Gemara Beitza. So, if we start with the citation from the Mishnah, which is She'efer Kira Muchanhu, that ash of the stove is considered muchan, prepared, it is not muksa, and therefore you could use it for the purpose of covering the blood of a chayav oaf. So, Amar Rabbi Yehuda Amar Rab, Lo shanu ela shehisik me'erev Yom Tov. This ash, if it was already burnt on erev Yom Tov, because since you can do cooking on Yom Tov itself, it's possible that it's burnt on Yom Tov. So we're talking about something that was muchan because this ash in the stove was already burnt on erev Yom Tov. About Yom Tov, but if it was burnt on Yom Tov, aser, it's not permitted to use this in order to cover the blood of chayav that you shechted. However, but if it's the ash is still hot enough that you can roast an egg with it, then it doesn't have a status of muktzah, and it's permissible to use it. Tanya Nami Hachi, and we're going to have a brayso that says exactly the same thing, so I'm not going to even bother translating it. Kishamru Efer Kira Muchan, when they said that Efer Kira Muchan Lamar Ela Shusuk Me'erev Yom Tov, Aval Husuk B'Yom Tov Aser Ve'im Roi Litzos Bo Beitza Mutar. Next, in the Gemara goes, I think this is a continuation of the brayso actually. If you brought in dirt for his garden or for his ruin, you can use it to cover the dam of a chayav. Amar Rabbi Yehuda, machnas adam lo kupaso afar. He can bring in his basket full of dirt, also called sarka, and do everything that he needs to do with it. He can use that throughout Yom Tov. Next in the Gemara is Darash Marzutra Mishmei Marzutra Rabbah. He lectured in the name of Marzutra Rabbah. This is where he appointed it a set place, a set corner in the house, thus designating it. Okay, next in the Gemara, a new topic is about a kvi, which is an animal which we're unsure whether it's a chaya or a behema. And if it's a chaya, then you need to cover its blood. If it's a behema, you don't have to cover its blood. So it continues, kvi aser l'mishchatei b'Yom Tov. It's forbidden to slaughter this kvi on Yom Tov, this nan, because we learned kvi, ein shochta so b'Yom Tov, you can't slaughter it on Yom Tov. Bim shachta, ein mechasen astamo, we don't cover its blood. Vafilu ika afar muchan, even if you have dirt prepared for it, we still don't cover it. Vafilu be'efer kira, and even with the ash of the stove, we don't cover it. Now, my time, why don't we cover it? Amar Rami B'rei Rav Yeva, he said, Gzeira Mishum Hataras Chalba. It's a decree because of the possibility of accidentally permitting its fats. Demand Chazile Demachasal Litzmei, that somebody who sees that we're covering its blood b'Yom Tov, Asulamemer might come to say Demin Chayahu, that it certainly is a chaya. And the chaya, you're allowed to eat its fats, whereas a behema, you're not allowed to eat these specific forbidden fats. The isapiku, because if it was a case of doubt and it's not for certain chaya, well, they wouldn't have, the sages wouldn't have required us to trouble ourselves to cover its blood on Yom Tov B'Sveika in case of doubt. The Asi, the Misharye Tarba delay, and we're going to come to mistakenly permit its fats, which are actually forbidden. Hilkach, Ein Mechasen Estama B'Yom Tov Klal. We don't cover its blood on Yom Tov at all. Aval Erev, once evening comes, B'motzei Yom Tov, once Yom Tov passes and now it's Chol, Mechasin Estamo, we do cover its blood, Kevin below Mechasile Yom Tov, because we didn't cover it on Yom Tov, and Misafek, you should really cover it. Even though you're covering its blood on a weekday, and since it's a weekday, lo asi l'meimer hachi. You're not going to come to say this thing that it must be a chaya and therefore we should be permitted to eat its fats. It's made Rabbi Chia. Rabbi Chia taught in a brisa, lo kvi bilvad asro. They didn't only forbid a kvi for one to cover its blood. If he slaughtered a behema chaya and an oaf, and his arvu damam zeb zap, and their bloods got mixed one with the other, and two of them do require kisvei and one of them does not. Aser it's forbidden to cover it on Yom Tov. Amr Rabbi Yossi bar Avin, this is only when you can't cover it with one scoop. But if you can cover it with one spadeful, mutar, it's permitted to cover it on Yom Tov. Amar Rabba. Rabba said, Shachat Sipur me'erev Yom Tov. If you slaughtered a bird on Erev Yom Tov, Ein Mechasan Oso B'Yom Tov, we don't cover its blood